Here are the 5 psychology reasons behind people who never feel bored alone. Number 1. They have a rich inner world. Some people never feel bored when they are alone because they carry an entire world inside their minds. Psychologically, these individuals have strong imagination, deep thinking patterns, and active inner dialogue. When silence comes, their thoughts don't stop. They begin to explore ideas, memories, dreams, and possibilities. Instead of depending on outside entertainment, they naturally create mental stimulation. They replay conversations, analyze life experiences, picture future success, or build stories in their head. This interactivity keeps them emotionally and mentally engaged. Alone time becomes a space for reflection rather than emptiness. These people also tend to be highly observant. They notice small details about life, people, and situations, then connect those observations into meaningful insights. Their mind works like a personal cinema or library, constantly producing thoughts and perspectives. Psychologists often link this to strong introspective ability and creative thinking. Such individuals feel comfortable sitting quietly because their mind provides enough engagement. Solitude gives them freedom to think without interruption, helping them process emotions and ideas more deeply. Rather than seeing loneliness, they see opportunity to understand themselves better, plan their future, or mentally rehearse their goals. Their imagination becomes their companion. This rich inner world protects them from boredom because they don't need constant external noise. They already have something powerful, a mind that knows how to stay alive, curious, and active even in silence. Number 2. Strong sense of purpose and personal goals. Some people never feel bored when they're alone because their lives are guided by purpose. Psychologically, having clear goals gives the brain something meaningful to focus on. Instead of seeing alone time as empty, they see it as valuable space to move closer to their dreams. These individuals usually carry personal plans in their minds, improving their skills, building a business, growing spiritually, creating content, or changing their future. When they find themselves alone, they naturally shift into planning mode. They reflect on progress, adjust strategies, and think about next steps. Purpose creates inner motivation. Their mind stays active because it's always asking questions like, what can I improve? What should I learn next? How do I get better? This forward-thinking mindset replaces boredom with productivity. Psychologists explain this as intrinsic motivation, doing things because they feel meaningful, not because someone is watching. People with this trait don't wait for external entertainment. They generate their own drive from inside. Even simple moments become useful. A quiet room turns into a thinking space. A lonely walk becomes a time for life evaluation. They may rehearse conversations, design future projects, or mentally solve problems. Because they care deeply about their growth, they rarely waste alone time. Their sense of direction gives structure to silence. To them, being alone isn't being idle, it's preparation. Purpose fills the empty spaces, keeping boredom away and replacing it with ambition, focus, and inner energy. Number 3. High emotional independence. Some people don't feel bored when they're alone because they are emotionally independent. This means they don't rely heavily on others to feel happy, complete, or entertained. Psychologically, they have learned how to regulate their own emotions and create inner comfort without constant social interaction. These individuals enjoy their own company. Silence doesn't make them uneasy. Instead of searching for people to fill empty moments, they sit peacefully with their thoughts. They understand their feelings and don't panic when there's no external stimulation. Emotionally independent people often develop this trait through life experiences. Maybe they spent time alone growing up, faced challenges that forced self-reliance, or learned early that happiness must come from within. Over time, they became their own emotional support system. Because of this, they don't feel pressure to always be talking, scrolling, or surrounded by others. They are okay with quiet moments. They may reflect, pray, breathe deeply, or simply exist without needing distractions. Psychologists say this ability comes from strong self-awareness and emotional maturity. These people accept who they are, so they don't fear being alone with themselves. Instead of loneliness, they feel calmness. They also understand that boredom often comes from emotional emptiness, not lack of activity. Since they feel emotionally full, boredom rarely appears. For them, solitude becomes peaceful rather than painful. Being alone feels like resting in their own presence, a safe space where their mind can relax and recharge. Number 4. Curiosity and love for learning. Some people never feel bored when they're alone because they are naturally curious about life. Their minds constantly ask questions. Why does this work this way? What can I learn today? How can I become better? Psychologically, curiosity keeps the brain active and engaged, even in quiet moments. These individuals see the world as a classroom. When they're alone, they don't just sit idle, they read, watch educational content, think deeply, or reflect on new ideas. Even without a phone or book, they replay information they've learned and connect it with real-life experiences. Their curiosity pushes them to explore different topics: psychology, business, spirituality, people's behavior, or personal growth. Every thought becomes an opportunity to discover something new. Because of this, alone time feels productive rather than boring. Psychologists explain this is having a growth mindset, believing that knowledge is endless and improvement is always possible. People with this mindset turn silence into learning space. They also enjoy understanding themselves better. They analyze past mistakes, think about future decisions, and try to make sense of emotions. This self-study keeps their mind busy and engaged. Instead of needing entertainment, they search for meaning. They treat quiet moments as chances to expand their thinking. Their hunger for knowledge replaces boredom. For them, being alone is not emptiness, it's exploration. Their curiosity acts like fuel, keeping their mind alive, focused, and constantly growing. Number 5. Habit of self-reflection and creativity. Some people never feel bored when they are alone, because they use solitude as a space for self-reflection and creativity. Psychologically, these individuals have trained themselves to turn quiet moments into opportunities for inner work. Instead of escaping silence, they enter it. They reflect on their lives, past choices, current situations, and future hopes. They ask themselves honest questions. Am I growing? What needs to change? What have I learned? This habit keeps their mind active and meaningful. Many of them are also creative thinkers. When alone, ideas begin to flow. They may imagine stories, plan projects, write notes, pray, journal, or mentally design content. Their creativity doesn't depend on noise or people. It rises naturally in solitude. Psychologists link this to introspection and creative processing. These people allow their minds to wander productively. Their brain connects experiences, emotions, and ideas into something useful or inspiring. They also use alone time to solve personal problems. Instead of avoiding challenges, they think through them quietly. This turns isolation into a workshop for growth. Because they treat solitude as sacred space, boredom rarely enters. Their mind is busy building, healing, or creating. For them, being alone is not emptiness. It's where clarity is found. Silence becomes a tool. Creativity becomes companionship. Reflection becomes progress. They don't wait for stimulation. They generate meaning from within.